New Canon RF 24-105 f2.8 LZ and 4-year-old Canon RF 24-105 f4L zoom lenses. Which one is better, and is it worth upgrading to the new lens? In this first video of the series, I evaluate the ergonomics, handling, and image quality. The lens is long and front-heavy. As a result, holding camera with one hand while pointing lens forward for more than a few seconds is difficult. Using a hand strap like this big design clutch strap is a must to ensure secure holding. Supporting the lens with the left hand feels good and allows better control of the camera when panning. To prevent fatigue from carrying and holding camera in the field, I use this Shimoda Designs Explorer version 2 35-liter photo backpack with the Shimoda top loader front mounting camera bag as an add-on. I find that this setup is ideal for run-and-gun shooting. To my delight, the new lens with the attached R5C body fits into the top loader bag even without removing the lens hood or the lens tripod mount. This is a big plus since I really like this bag. When operating the camera with f2.8 zoom on a tripod, using this lens mount is a must. When operating handheld, the lens mount can be quickly rotated 180 degrees. This allows for more comfortable support and operating of the f2.8 zoom with left hand and provides an attachment point for a top handle needed for shooting from lower angles. Here I added an Arca Swiss clamp to the top handle from wooden camera for quick connection to the Arca Swiss plate on the lens mount. To compare two zooms optically, I shot JPEG images to enable the camera to make lens-specific corrections. I chose a stone wall as an object, placed the camera on a tripod at approximately 6 feet from the wall, and took shots on a cloudy day to minimize variations in exposure. The camera has not been moved when changing lenses. All shots were at 1/250th of a second at preset aperture values, and ISO adjusted to compensate for equal exposure between shots. All shots were focused on the center of the largest rectangular stone seen in all images. I shot large JPEGs at 24, 35, 50, 70, and 105 millimeters, and at 3 aperture settings of f2.8, f4, and f8 for each focal distance. As independent benchmarks for image quality, I also shot the same scene with 50mm prime lens and 100mm macro lens, both at f8 aperture, and compared them to images taken at the same aperture and focal distance by the f2.8 zoom. I evaluated resolution in the center and corners of the images and looked for differences in micro contrast and color rendering between lenses. What do you see looking at these images? I was surprised by how little difference in perceived image quality is observable between tested lenses throughout the focal range and apertures. According to this test, the older f4 zoom and new f2.8 zoom have virtually the same image quality throughout the range of focal distances and aperture settings. The image quality from the new f2.8 zoom at 50mm and 105mm is matching that of 50mm prime and 100mm macro L series lenses from Canon. In this next additional test, I wanted to compare the performance of f2.8 and f4 zooms at minimal focusing distances. To find the minimal focus distance for each lens, I used the geared tripod adapter plate often used for macro focusing. The minimum distance from the object at which autofocus was possible was used to take these shots. The new f2.8 zoom has slightly higher magnification ratio than the f4 zoom, which probably explains the difference in size of the flower on images from two zooms. The 100mm macro lens is capable of much closer focusing distance at higher magnification. For this particular object, however, I like framing achieved by the new f2.8 zoom better. Clearly, more testing and comparison need to be done before I cast my verdict on this RF 24-105 f2.8 zoom. What I have seen and experienced handling this lens so far is encouraging. I'm eagerly awaiting for the arrival of the PZE2 power zoom adapter for the new f2.8 zoom to test power zooming during video shots. I will share more of my tests and observations observations with the new f2.8 zoom lens in the next episode. Let me know your thoughts and comments. See you next time. Cheers.